Some days it takes me a minute or two, but the world keeps turning like it's meant to do. And time don't wait, it just carries you through. I've had good days and a few slip away. Had a few things work out a different way. But you live long enough and you'll see it's true. The things worth keeping take time to come through. We're just passing through time like the wind through the pines.
All right. I don't know. Was I enjoying that song? Each and every week, this song just gets me moving. I'm like, this is so inspiring. I love that song. You're listening to Senior Talks. Good morning, Chicago, and everyone around us. I know we reach far and wide, not just in Chicago, but all over the planet. I'm your host, LaDonna Raeh, and yes, I am filling in. I'm still filling in for Miss Clara Hubbard. We are on WVON each and every Saturday, and I like to call myself LaDonna, the PreSenior Raeh on Saturdays. I love this. I love this. Guys, we are hoping that you can reach those phone lines if you have any questions or you want to share some things that you're doing as an active senior. I see you guys out there. I went out to eat yesterday with my oldest son, and we sat around some seniors, and everybody knows, well, everybody this particular day knows about WVON and how we are celebrating our 63 years. It is so lovely. One lady said, I said, what radio station do you listen to? She said, WVON. And she looked at me like, and you better know it. So I was really proud to talk to Miss Lily about her experience with listening to the radio station. But let me tell you something. Senior Talks. This is where you can chime in as a senior, pre-senior, or even a caregiver and hear what other seniors are doing, what they've done, what they're doing to stay active, what they're going through. This is the hub right here on WVON 1690. Our phone number is 773-591-1690. Now, and then later on, you'll hear my conversation with Terrence Santos de la Rosa Sims, who is with Chicago Commons, and he is the vice president of senior services. So he's got some input on when it feels a little lonely. Oh my goodness, I could only feel my father's voice when he said that to me. But this week, today on Senior Talk, we're going to be talking to Tiffany Green Hood. She's a publisher, author, coach, and entrepreneur, best known as the editor of Published and Black magazine and founder of the Published and Black Chamber of Commerce. She's also a visionary behind the Kingdom Honors Experience. That's a platform that's dedicated to celebrating leadership, impact, and legacy. But beyond her many professional accomplishments, Tiffany has spent the last 5 years, I know how that feels, in one of the most demanding and deeply personal roles imaginable. She's a caregiver to her dad. And look, her father ain't no short stopper either. I'm going to bring her in on our video. If you guys are on Facebook, be sure to share the show and share it with many people. If you're not familiar with how to do it, you can share it later. But we want to get into this conversation. Welcome to the show, Miss Tiffany A. Good.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So, I know that in passing, I've noticed that your father is an author, and we're talking about Edward Green. He's 83 years old. He's already written a book. He's about to receive his honorary doctorate. And it's such an amazing story that you have behind him, because who is your father, Edward Green? And what is he doing at 83 years old?
Listen, he is straight chilling, like not a care in the world. However, his journey did not start out like that. And I'm thankful that this is the first time I'm doing a conversation about him. This is great. But his journey was kind of amazing. So he started off I guess after high school, whatever, he decided to go into the military. So he did 2 years with the Army. So he is a veteran. But he also played music. That is his absolute love. And I kind of forget as a caregiver, I totally forget on them days. It's like, right? That music is the thing that changes his whole mood, And so he played on the road with Tyrone Davis. I asked him the other day because I couldn't remember how long, but he said 3 years. A lot of that type of stuff, when they have dementia,
So your
their
father has
memory
dementia.
back, yes, their memory
Hmm.
back is better than current. So we'll
So,
have a
so, so, so,
conversation in 2 seconds. He can't remember what we talked about, but he'll remember back. So,
mm. So let me ask you a question. Now, you just dropped a dime on us. You just said he is a he is a musician,
yeah,
an accomplished musician.
yes,
This- Edward Green, 83 years old. He played for Tyrone Davis. But I read where he opened up for BB King and shared stages with Kool and the Gang. And
it's yeah.
that was an amazing journey for him. Tell us what was he what and I don't want to say was like he's no longer here, but
Right.
what was it like growing up with a father that was a musician but at heart?
So 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 here's the thing. Okay. So he did not actively play music as we were growing up. He was kind of like done with that. He was on
Mhm.
the road with Tyrone Davis for a couple of years. And from what he tells me, and this was before the dementia kicked in, he told me that he was the road manager. He was the manager of the group.
Mhm.
So he was
Mhm.
the one in charge. And so I want to say this. He's always been in leadership. Period.
Yeah.
Always been in leadership.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So and then he managed so this is what happened. If I can throw this in really quick. He um he did the years on the road with Tyrone Davis. He played the baritone saxophone was his thing. And then so you said how was it growing up? He wanted us to do music all the time and we ain't want to do all that. That was his thing.
Yeah.
So so that was that. And I understand a lot of parents do that. They want you to carry
I
on
want
what
you
they,
to
you
carry
know.
on. Yeah. So what is he?
However, they came off the road. Well, I
Yeah.
just want to tell you this part. They
Okay.
came off
Go
the
ahead.
road and well he decided to come off the road. So I guess him and my mom were together, whatever, decided to, we're gonna get married. So he came off the road. He said Tyrone wanted him to stay. He promised to buy him a house and all this. He said, no, man, I'm good. Now you can give me the money and I go buy my own house, but I don't want you buying no house for me. He said no, that was his way of still being able to stay in control. Like this is a conversation we had.
Mhm.
He said
Mhm.
they came off the road. He came off the road. They got married. They actually had a plan.
Mm.
They stayed married for 35 years till my mom passed in '05.
Yeah.
But they had a plan. They got married. They went and paid for their burial plots. When my mama passed, we didn't have to pay for that part. He went and pulled up the paperwork. Oh, looking like a paper bag. Paperwork from 1973.
Mhm.
So they had an actual plan, but he's always been in a position where he was in leadership, supervisor, manager. He managed a car wash for about 5, 6 years on the south side of Chicago. Just, yeah. So
Yeah.
I just want to get to
So
you.
when you think about your father, when you think about how he is now at 83, what is it that because he lived such an extraordinary life in music, business,
Yeah.
faith, leadership, and family, what do you believe has kept him vibrant and engaged over the years?
Okay. What I believe has kept him vibrant is his faith in God. My dad he got saved like 2000. No, my daughter was little, so it was like 1997, something like that, where he actually started to, get into his word, this and that. But I want to say this, that thing that I believe has kept him vibrant is his knowledge of health and reading books,
Mm,
books and
yeah.
books and books. People want to know where I get it from. Him.
Yeah.
He built a bookshelf here. He bought this house 20 years ago. Bookshelf, 7 shelves packed. He was a book fanatic, period. He read. And so he started learning about what wasn't good for us. Dairy was not good for us. White sugar was never good for us. Um, he used to eat ginger raw. Just all these things I used to see him doing. And of course, we ain't paying no attention.
Yeah.
Now, guess what? At 83, although he was diagnosed with dementia,
He's still reading.
he's still I don't think he comprehends when he reads too much anymore, but the health has carried him. He's never been sick. He's never been in a hospital. We don't go to doctor's visits all month. We just went to the one doctor visit. We do one doctor visit during the year, one. We just had that one. So he won't, doctor say, oh, I don't have to see him till next year.
All right. Well, I'm going to grab a couple of these callers. Let's get Denise. Hi, Denise. You're live on Senior Talk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
LaDonna Raeh.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to find out, aside from the exceptional mayor that we now have in place, who is in place in the city of Chicago that advocates for a senior or seniors experiencing crisis? So I just want to put it out there, because it appears to me that if you are a client of CHA, the Housing Choice Voucher Program, there's no structure there. There's not one person or agency or that agency that when a senior or seniors are experiencing problem with that particular agency, and you reach out to, like, the mayor is supposed to be in charge of everybody in the city of Chicago.
Well, let me jump in. I'm excited to answer give you some resources because I work with my father. Tiffany A. Green Hood is on the line, and she works with her father. And my father, I've been able to go through the Chicago Department on Aging. And if you want, I can put that into the comments on Facebook. But if you go to the Chicago Department on Aging, and that phone number is 312-744-4016. Now, that's one person or one agency, I should say. The other one is Illinois Department on Aging. And I have a phone number for them as well. And that's 800-252-8966. So if you want, yes, ma'am.
No, LaDonna, what I'm saying to you is if you already exhausted that avenue and trying to get back to another city agency.
Well, you mentioned CHA, but I just want to make sure I got it in my notes.
Yes, the Chicago Housing Authority. Okay, you are led from one person to another person, and I don't want to get because you have other people that you want to talk to, listeners. But what I'm saying to you is that when you have exhausted all of this, the channels that you just, resources that you just given, even going to the Chicago Housing Authority, the CAC, okay, nobody is there to answer you, to take your call. You refer to other people within the agency who's supposed to be directors of the program. It goes nowhere.
Well, I'll tell you what, Miss Denise, I'm gonna jump in again. I'm gonna give you my. Do you email?
No, I don't have. I'm not.
Well, I'm gonna have Matt get your phone number, because I'm gonna tell you need an advocate. You need somebody that's gonna stay on top of these things. Not that you aren't, but they need to hear some strength and some army behind you. Okay, so I'm gonna have Matt get your phone number, and you and I are gonna work together. All right. Let's go ahead and get Ron. Hey, Ron, you're live on Senior Talks.
Yeah, good morning, and hopefully she did reach out to her audit person. So that's a good place to start.
Thank you.
But I want to commend you and Tiffany both taking care of your dads. Really want to commend you ladies for that. And now, but Tiffany, your father sounds like a man I truly admire. When you talk about being like senior, you talked about him relative to health and reading. Because I am retired, I'm able to go to a wide different workout facility 4 or 5 times a week. And then some I try to tell people, very few people do not know, you can go to the library and read 6, 7 newspapers a day, which I do. So I take out books, I read newspapers all day and work out. So I just want to share that with when I heard you mention your dad. Those are the things I'm like, yes, I do have a wonderful personal library. Oh, and also when you mentioned music, I have extensive jazz vinyl collection. So it made me, when you were mentioning him, a lot of similarities. And you ladies just happy Mother's Day to you all, LaDonna.
Yes, sir.
Really enjoyed this show as a senior. This is very valuable. So, yeah, like I said, happy Mother's Day to you all.
Thank you, sir. And please, keep those comments coming, guys. Thank you, Ron. Because we do need to know and share what other seniors are doing. And Tiffany, I'm so glad you led with that. Your father, he was a musician, and he's about those books, reading. I'm very much so an avid reader, and he has applied what he has read to raising his family. And there's one thing that I was dealing with, and you and I'm assuming, like, I've been caring for my father for 5 years. You've been caring for your father for 5 years. And boy, we need a support group. And I mean, they got to provide some wine, because it's so funny talking with our parents on this side of things. But the most important thing that I found is that when my father was used to doing certain things, it's those things that that he longed for. So we had to make sure that he was able to get back in lock and step with that. But I too was losing my words. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've dealt with brain trauma as a kid, and they don't tell you about what's to expect down the road. And even with my dad having a stroke, your father dealing with dementia, this neurology piece is so heavy for us. But what I found that helped keep me back connected, or get me back with more comfortable with my words, was reading more. Like, really not listening to the audio book, not looking at YouTube, actually taking that book, cracking it open, and reading it more. And that has helped me. And I'm glad you shared that reading. And I'm glad our caller called in and talked about how he continues to go to the library and read and exercise, get the blood flowing, because all of those things work together.
Absolutely. I agree.
Thank you. All right. So your dad, what's he doing right now? Because at 83 years old, I've seen you've taken pictures with him. He's been an active dad at 83 years old. I almost wish he was talking to us. But tell me, what does he do to keep the blood flowing?
Well, now I have him in an adult, I would say, activity center that he goes to daily. That helps, because he was just around the house with me, and I'm fussing, and he probably
You
like, just
fussing at your
leave me
dad?
alone. So it's definitely an adjustment. It's a life adjustment. It's a different kind of life. I guess I didn't know what I was taking on, and that I had to give up a lot of my life to do it. So, but yes, he is gone from 8 a.m. to 4. And
What
then
type of activities do they do at
they
the
do a
center?
lot of stuff. Oh, the lady who owns the place is amazing. Travail with us, located in Maryville. And she has people come in. He came home with a candle yesterday. I guess they did candles for like Mother's Day gifts. And it's a little cute bag. I'm just not realizing that was for me. So he come home with stuff all the time. They have somebody come in and show him how to eat healthy, and sometimes she has stuff where she has a lady come in and play the saxophone. You know, he enjoys that. Just
Mhm.
different things. They're always doing something. Now he colors more. That was something new, you know, but he loved it. So he's like, can you take me to the art store? You know, when he because I bought him these large jumbo coloring paper, and he absolutely loved them. And look, it looks like art because it's so perfect. You know, it's not like a child coloring and it's outside the line. No, it's perfect. So
Can
so
I
that's
share?
pretty much what
Can
he's
I
saying.
share something with you? That
Yes.
coloring, that drawing. My father's an artist, and that's exactly what I was thinking about when you had to put in front of them, in front of him, what he missed. And I went and got him an art set
Yeah.
from online. I ordered it, and his drawings are so detailed,
Yeah.
and he felt good about doing it, but he was like, "Oh, I ran out of ideas." I was like, "Dad, just keep going." But
Mhm.
his artwork, it just says a lot about how detailed he is with his drawings, and now I'm hearing your father's detailed with his coloring. What message do you hope that seniors hear when they listen to your father's story?
The main thing, honestly, the main thing I want them to hear is the reading and the health. And the health. There's a reason, and taking care of him helped me to see why a lot of times seniors, or right after you retire, goes downhill and then they're not here anymore. Now
Mm,
I understand it has a lot to do with the foods, the daily routine. You know, if you're used to eating soul food all the time, this
mhm.
is what my dad could have easily not been here anymore had I just been one of those family members who was just willy-nilly, and we just, oh, here, because here's the thing, with the
Pacifying.
dementia, he doesn't remember
Mhm.
his diet and his habits and what he learned from reading it. He don't remember none of that. So thankfully I came in and I had to kind of wean him because he had been off of it for a minute. So I had to wean him back into nope, this is what we doing right here, you know? And so
Yeah.
just had doctor's appointment, perfect blood work,
Mhm.
perfect blood work. So I'm
And
very
that's
thankful for
because you
that.
you
Yeah.
got him on that right diet. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up Andre. Hey, Andre, good morning. You're on Senior Talks on WVON.
Hey, good morning to you. Good morning to the guests. Early happy Mother's Day to you all. I don't get a chance to speak with y'all, but
Thank
I
you.
just want to share some things that I have seniors in my family. And one thing that I've noticed that helps them is they play video games. They got cell phones and they got games on their phone. And let me tell you, it helps their cognitive skills and help hand-eye coordination and a lot of things. I know they say, well, the kids is bad for the kids to play video games too much, but it's just the opposite for these seniors, especially if their mind is deteriorating. You have to keep their mind sharp and whatnot. And
Mhm.
I want to know, has she had any experience with calling the bureaucracies that's designed to help the elders and the seniors? Because when you call Medicare and these other ones that you call for resources, they got some real funky attitudes when they talk to the seniors, and they strictly be confusing. They don't have patience or none of that stuff like that. So, had you had any experience in that area with calling these bureaucracies and where they had bad attitudes? And if they did, how can something like that be improved at these government bureaucracies that's designed to help senior citizens that don't do that? Can you offer any suggestions for that?
Absolutely. Thank you, Andre. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Have you had any experience with him making those calls, or you making those calls and them having such a terrible attitude because you're calling about a senior?
No, I haven't, thankfully. But I do understand exactly what he is talking about.
But,
But I
but
have
full
not.
disclosure, you're in a whole different state.
I am, but it's still no. I'm in Gary, Indiana, and when we call the city, just generally, not even specifically for seniors, some of the different departments have that type of attitude. So I understand what he's talking about. But pertaining to my dad, no, I haven't had to. No, very, very nice. Even with you were speaking of the Department of Aging,
Mm-hmm.
I did reach out to them about some things we needed done with the house and this and that. And the lady was extremely nice, polite, respectful, all of that.
And
So,
that's I'm glad you had that experience. I can chime in because just yesterday I had to call my father's social worker because he is in a rehab facility and the attitudes of the CNA was terrible. I don't want him around her around my father. So I made a very detailed text message to the social worker. And the best advice that I can share with you is to leave it's hard to, but leave your feelings out of your documentation. So anytime my father tells me that someone had an attitude, I ask him details about it. Who did he call? Who was the person? Did you get a name? And I always document every interaction. And I'm not a cry wolf caller, so I'm not going to call for each and every situation at the rehab facility. I'm going to collectively give a weekly report, and it's going to be in writing. And I'm also going to copy the corporate office. That's one way. The other thing is when you call these agencies and you deal with someone that has an attitude that makes you feel uncomfortable and not safe in handling this situation, always ask for a supervisor. Keep your feelings out of it. Try to anyway. And this way you stick with facts and not feelings. And when you talk to that supervisor, they have an obligation and you ask for names every time you speak to a person and write it down. I keep a note in my phone that says my father's first and last name. It also includes his social, it includes his date of birth, just in case I'm in the moment. And I include his Medicare card, his driver's license, and his Blue Cross Blue Shield card. It's in my phone. And I also keep every nurse, doctor, and caregiver that we work with. I keep dates in those notes as well. And if there's a situation or an incident, I take that information and I frame it into whether it be an email, a text message, or a written letter, or all three. And when you do that, you show that you are an advocate for that individual. And I'm just a minute over, and I do apologize. You're an advocate for that person. And you also want to get them or try to have a conversation with your loved one or the seniors about getting a power of attorney. Because the moment you present as power of attorney, they listen to you collectively with your loved one. Power of attorney doesn't kick in until they can no longer make the decisions, but as their power of attorney, it also gives you leverage to being their advocate. I hope this was helpful. Andre, you can email me, LaDonna at WVON.com. Anybody else can email me as well if you have an issue. I will try my best to help because we're connected even to even on this show, Chicago Commons. They have resources. So, Tiffany, I want to thank you for coming on and talking about your dad and the fact that you're honoring him, and he is the the only father that you will ever know. But it sounds like he's having a really good time with you, caring and advocating for him. Mr. Edward Green, my hat goes off to you. And of course, happy Mother's Day, Miss Tiffany A. Green Hood. And thank you so much for joining us this morning.
and happy Mother's Day to you too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys, it is time for us to get into this Chicago Commons conversation with our dear friend Terrence Santos De La Rosa Sims, who is he is the Vice President of Senior Services. He's going to talk about loneliness. We had this conversation the other day, and I tell you, I think you can get your pen and paper ready. Just take down some notes, guys. We'll be right back.
Hey, Chicago. Are you looking for a place where your loved one can receive the care and support they deserve? Chicago Commons offers adult day services in the heart of Bronzeville, providing a vibrant and caring community center for seniors and adults with disabilities, and that includes meals, transportation, and engaging activities. We also offer a home care program throughout the Chicagoland area that ensures your loved ones get the support they need right at home. If you're interested in Chicago Commons Senior Services, where compassionate care meets your community, call us today at 773-373-5055.
All right, guys. So, loneliness, goodness gracious, loneliness doesn't always look like someone sitting alone in a room. Sometimes it looks like a person who hasn't had a meaningful conversation in days, or someone who smiles every time family visits, but cries when the house gets quiet again or when they leave. I'll never forget seeing the back of my dad's head when he left for good, and I was just 6 years old. Did I feel lonely? Absolutely. I got to see him on the weekends, but it just wasn't the same. Today, we're talking about something that affects millions of older adults, but often stays hidden behind closed doors: loneliness and social isolation among seniors. And honestly, it's one of those conversations we don't have enough until it hits our own family. Joining us again this week is Terrence De La Rosa Sims from Chicago Commons. He is absolutely the Vice President of Senior Services to help us unpack why social isolation has become what many call a silent epidemic among older adults, and how it impacts physical and emotional health, and what families can actually do to help loved ones stay connected and supported. Welcome to the show, Terrence.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, you know what, Terrence? People hear the phrase loneliness epidemic, and some may have never heard it before, but they may not realize how serious this really is for seniors. A lot of older adults are quietly dealing with loss, health challenges, major life transitions, so many other things. But how common is social isolation among seniors today? And why do you think it's still so often overlooked or misunderstood?
Social isolation among older adults is surprisingly common. Studies from organizations like the World Health Organization estimates that between 20 and 30% of older adults globally experience significant social isolation or loneliness, with even higher rates among those who live alone, that have chronic illnesses, or have lost close family and friends. Despite its prevalence, it is often overlooked for a few reasons. First, loneliness is not always visible. Many seniors may appear physically well or even socially functional in brief interactions, masking deeper emotional isolation. Second, it tends to develop gradually, making it harder for families and healthcare systems to detect. And lastly, healthcare and social systems have traditionally focused more on physical health conditions than emotional or social well-being. So loneliness has not always been treated as a clinical priority, but just as a image of what one may subjectively look at it as.
It makes me feel like they're using AI. Are they not
Right.
really getting to know our seniors? And let's just get into the health impact of this. I mean, we often talk about high blood pressure, diabetes. I mean, it rolls off the tongue so easily, or even heart disease when it comes to seniors. But we don't always talk about loneliness as a health issue. And yet emotional pain can show up physically in the body. How does prolonged loneliness impact a senior mentally, emotionally, and physically over time?
Well, prolonged loneliness has serious consequences across all health areas. Mentally and emotionally, chronic isolation is strongly linked to depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, and increased risk of dementia. Without regular social interactions, the brain receives less stimulation, which can accelerate memory loss and reduce cognitive resilience. Physically, loneliness has been associated with higher risk of cardiovascular disease, weakened immune function, higher blood pressure, and even increased mortality in some cases. Some research suggests that chronic loneliness can have health effects comparable to smoking or obesity in terms of long-term risks. So the stress response system becomes overactive, leading to inflammation and wear and tear on the body over time.
A lot of people hear the words home care and automatically think about medication reminders or something of the like the devices that are out there to help around the house is even something they think about. But for many seniors, the relationship with a caregiver becomes much deeper than that. Can you talk about how companion services and home care can go beyond meeting physical needs and actually become emotional lifelines for seniors?
Absolutely. Home care and companion services can play a major role in reducing isolation, not just by meeting the physical needs that you just mentioned, bathing, medication reminders, or meal preparation, but by providing meaningful human interaction. Companion caregivers often become a consistent social presence in a senior's life. This regular contact can reduce feelings of abandonment and help create emotional stability. Simple activities, conversations, shared hobbies, walks, or even watching television together can significantly improve mood and a sense of connection. Beyond companionship, caregivers also act as like social bridges, right? Helping seniors stay engaged with the outside world by assisting with phone calls, arranging transportation, encouraging participation in community events, neighborhood events, and facilitating virtual communication with family. In many cases, the most valuable aspect of home care is not just what is done for the senior, but the sense that someone is reliably present, attentive, and engaged in their daily life.
Wait a minute. So you're going to show these seniors how to send pictures? Because my mother asked me on a regular basis. Shown her how she can attach an image to a text message or do a FaceTime call. You guys do that?
You know what? A lot of times I've seen maybe a little resistant because sometimes when you feel like you're older and the world is kind of advanced in a way that you haven't been keeping up with, they may give a little resistance, but when they realize, how easy it is, and it's more about how you introduce it to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you understand, they may have a little, they're a little stressed about it, a little anxiety about it. You just kind of walk them through it, use kind language and say, hey, this is easy. I had a difficult time learning how to do it, but if I could do it, you can do it. And you show them, and you'd be surprised how many seniors love to text, share pictures, take photos, take videos, know how to zoom in and out on cameras, and then they get really comfortable, and then they're teaching you.
Right.
So it usually works out that way a lot of times.
Look, I've seen them scan QR codes and I'm impressed. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well,
That's it.
Look, let's be real. A lot of families are carrying guilt because they don't live close to their parents or grandparents. They've moved away and life pulls people in different directions, but the worry never really leaves. What advice would you give families who live far away but are concerned that their loved one may be feeling lonely or isolated?
Well, families who live far away can still play a huge, significant role in helping the loved one feel connected and supported. Consistent communication matters more than distance. Scheduling regular phone calls or video chats gives loved ones something to look forward to and helps maintain a sense of routine and closeness. It's also important to encourage local connections, helping the loved one get involved in community activities, senior centers, faith groups, church groups, hobby.
All right, guys. Listen, let me give you something about this conversation that I had with Terrence Terrence Santos de la Rosa Sims. I love his name because there's so many names in it. But we have had some quiet conversations about the resources that are available through Chicago Commons. And one of the things that we really focused on this week was about loneliness when it comes to our senior population. It does happen. I mean, it happens before you're a senior. So imagine what it can be like when you become one. However, that is not the end all be all because there are resources available to avoid being lonely. And it's okay to be lonely. It's okay. Doesn't mean something's wrong with you. Nobody likes you. None of that. What it means is you have pretty much been on the as far as my father, he's been so independent that when it came time to, where he needed some help, nobody really knew that he would be the one that needed some help. So, but there are communities for seniors to visit. I like what Carol Carter put on our Facebook Live. She said, I had my husband in an adult daycare. They had arts and crafts. Those that don't have dementia, they go on they go on day trips. They also have breakfast and lunch, also snacks if they want them. So there's so many things to do. There's a young lady that I'm going to be reaching out to, and I say young lady to everyone, right? She is a fitness guru and she is killing it. And I believe she's over 70 years old. So there's so many things that we can still do at when we get to the point of retirement and as America or as society has deemed senior status, right? Those discounts at the restaurants are not all you get. There's so much more. And I look forward to talking to each and every one of you every Saturday, because this is so insightful for the seniors that I've talked to. I love seniors. I've always had a soft spot for seniors. And I'm a pre-senior myself. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this call from Miss Darva. Hi, Darva. You're on Senior Talks.
God bless you. I know we have a short time. I listen to you, but sometimes I don't call in, but I wanted to call in because I am also a new senior. But I wanted to say this, that we as children must take care of our parents. Sometimes we want to put them in nursing homes and different places like that, but sometimes it's not good, because remember, the nursing homes are not equipped like, they would be at your own home. So if we can do anything for our seniors, I'm telling you, our organization, that's what we do. We work with seniors and veterans and homeless people. But I'm telling you, I'm just giving you all a shout out and a warning. You can't leave your people in those places for a very, very long time, because they're short step, and you got to make sure that everything is going great with your people. I'm hearing so many, my sister, people that leave their people in those nursing homes, and then next thing you know, they are no longer with us. So we don't want that to happen, because sometimes people want to be at home. And I know everybody have different situations, but it happened to my mom. And because my sister took over the whole entity, and she didn't want anyone else to help out. And my mom had told us when we were young, if I ever get sick or whatever, never put me in a nursing home. And my sister put her there. It's been over 40 years, and my mother stayed there for 5 days, and she didn't make it. She just left. And nothing, she was sick, but still, nursing homes and places like that and facilities, we have to be careful. Now, one thing I'm going to say, now this is what I've been looking at. Why is it that all of these seniors that's not in nursing homes, and the people that are watching over these seniors in these senior buildings and things, if you look at the situation, most of these people that are taking care of them are not equipped, in my opinion. Now, I don't know exactly, but I look at the situation they're in, and it seems like they just give anybody the opportunity to work with these seniors. My son said, "Mom, who else is going to do that? Why do you complain about that?" I said, because some of these people I look at that's taking care of people, they are not even taking care of themselves. He said, "But Mom, nobody else wants to do it, so they have to hire whoever they can, whenever they can, however they can."
You know what, Miss Darva? I hate that narrative is what is spewing throughout our community, especially for our seniors. Number one, let me congratulate you. You say you're a new senior?
Yeah, I'm a new senior.
Hit it, Matt. Hit it.
I'm retired. Oh, thank you.
We are celebrating your newness. I can't say welcome, but I can say they have welcomed you, okay? Because when my time comes, I want the air horn, I want the trumpets, I want the red carpet. But I will say this: if I could talk to anyone who was within an earshot of being a caregiver to a senior, and I'm talking about those CNAs, those nurses, those individuals that are in these facilities, I'm going to say what I'm going to say to them. But what would you say to them? And be nice, because they'll block, they'll shut down. What would you say to them? Maybe they need to hear it from you.
I have to first know if these people are capable of doing this, and if they love themselves.
Capable of caring, Ms. Darva? Capable of caring? I mean, we are all capable of caring.
But some people are about paychecks and stuff too now, money.
Well, then they need to go work. They need to go work at Amazon.
But who's hiring now? Look at our governor. Our governor is the one responsible for all of these seniors, even during COVID. My girlfriend's mother died during COVID, and they don't know why and where she was at. It was big. We called some attorneys and things like that. Some things, I'm telling you, our governor is in charge of all the senior facilities and things of that sort in our state. And so we must hold our elected officials accountable, because who's giving these people the opportunity to go work in these nursing homes or to go into these apartment buildings and condos and places where these people are living?
I gotta interrupt you, because the governor is not appointing these individuals that don't have the ability to care. He's not hiring them. They're not appointed.
Wait, it's the organization.
Absolutely. But see, here's the thing. Well,
let's work on this.
Absolutely. I'm with you. Okay. Because I just cussed out somebody that was being ill mannered to my father.
All right.
Look, Keisha. Okay, I'm not holding back.
Oh,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
wow.
And see, when I say cussed out, I mean this in the most respectful way because I respect my seniors and my elders. But watch this. What I did was what I told that other caller. I took her name down. I took the time she was caring for my father.
Yeah.
And yes, ma'am, I
Oh,
called that
wow.
supervisor. I called her and I
Yep.
complained. I left my feelings out of it. We can't be mad, jump up and down. I'm not saying we do this, but we have to go through, we have to follow through with the complaint.
Come
So
on.
I want to
Listen,
leave.
let me give my number to Matt for
You
you.
gonna give Matt your number for me?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
because
tell
this
Matt
is
to get it. I'm gonna
serious.
tell Matt to, because I'm serious. I'm so serious. Guys, y'all got me fired up. I wasn't even coming here for this today. But when it comes to my seniors, and you got these people that will be a senior one day, that somebody has wiped their tears, okay, changed their diapers, and then they can't even bring it when it comes time to taking care of your loved ones. I got something to say to them because I am so broken. I am so broken up about how these individuals have come into these facilities just to get a paycheck, just to mistreat our seniors. We're not taking this anymore. If you don't want to come to work, stay your ass at home. I'm sorry I had to cuss, guys, but I'm about to get up out of here. And I want to say hello to everyone who left us a message on Facebook comments. Jalen Smith, I see you, boo. Kabuye, I know you're in Uganda. I love it. Charlene Tittle, thank you. Carol Sanders, but I'm going to get out of here on time and we're going to be fired up next week too. I want to hear how you as a senior are living your life to the fullest right here on Senior Talks with LaDonna Raeh. I'll see you next Saturday. Bye-bye for now.
We're just